Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I make a gown for 7 to 8 years old girl. Before you will start, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. What we need for this tutorial is this two fabric, the chalk, the tape measurements, we need the ruler and the scissors. Now we're going to start with the plain pattern of this fabric. As you see, I folded it into two, and I also marked out a zip allowance, which is 1 inch zip allowance. So I'm going to place the front part of it on the line where I marked for the zip allowance. The front will be on this line. So now I'm going to start the measurement. I'm going to mark out the vertical measurement, placing from the top the shoulder. I'm going to mark out the chest measurement or the bust measurement, which is 7 inches, and I'm going to mark out the waistline, which is 13 inches. Then I'll use my ruler to connect the vertical lines for the chest and the waistline. Now I'm going to mark out the shoulder measurement, which is 12 inches. Divide by 2, and I'll place it on the zip line. Then I'll mark 6 inches. That is 12 divided by 2, 6 inches. So I'm going to connect the 6 inches line down to the waist measurement horizontally and mark out the line. Now I'm going to curve out that line. I'm going to mark out the armhole, curve it out, make a U curve here. That's for the armhole. So after that, I'm going to divide the armhole into 2. I'll fold the tape measurement to 2. The armhole, which is 7 inches, then I'll mark the middle line. From that middle line, I'm going to bring it in with 1/2 inch for the front of the sleeve. Then I'll connect this line to this 1/2 inch line, curve it this way. That's for the front armhole. This is for the front armhole. So now I'm going to mark the neckline using 3 inches for the neckline. For the depth, I'm going to use for the back, I'm using 1 inch. I'm marking the back first, 1 inch. Then the front, I'm using 2.5 inches. So this one is for the back, covering the back neckline. So now I'm going to connect the front neckline, curve it. I use 2.5 inches for this front one, while I use 1 inch for the back. Then for the depth, so now I'm going to take the chest measurement. The circumference of the chest I'm using is 26 inches. Then divide 26 inches by 4, which is 6.5 inches. So I will now add a half inch of seam allowance. That's 7 inches. I marked 7 inches here. So for the down part, the length, I'm going to be adding half an inch to join in. So I mark half an inch here. Then I'm going to connect it with my ruler. So for the chest line, I use 7 inches here. It's going to be the same 7 inches on the waistline because it's the same measurement. So I'll mark 7 inches here. Then I'll now connect the horizontal line. So I'm going to mark the shoulder down. From the shoulder, I'm going to reduce down with half an inch. Then I'll now connect it to the neckline. Slant cut. So as you can see, I'm going to cut out the back side first. I'll cut out the back side of the armhole. I'm not going to cut the front one. I'll cut the back one first, and after that cut the front one. So for the neck, I'm going to cut out the back side first. So after cutting it out, I'm going to separate the front and the back. Then I'll now trim down, cut the front neck and the armhole where I bring it in with half an inch. So I'm now cutting the back side of the zip allowance. So now I'm going to trim the front side of the armhole where I put it in with half an inch. So this is it. I already cut them out. So for the sleeve, I'm going to cut out half an inch because it's going to be a sleeveless gown. So I'll reduce it in with half an inch. So I'm going to curve it, then I'll cut it out. Yeah, now I'm going to cut the lining. I'll spray the lining, then put the cloth, and I'll cut out the lining. So as you see, I already cut out the lining. This is the lining now. Now I'm going to place the lining, the front and the back, together. And I'm going to sew it on the shoulder side, on the the shoulder, join it together. I'll do the same on the main fabric. So place this front to front, making sure the front is of the back is facing the front of it. So as you can see, I already joined the shoulders together. So now I'm going to cut the back of the gown because I want it to be a low back gown. So I'm going to put the lining and the fabric together to cut them together, folding them into two, making sure that the lining is the same length with the top. So I'll take the measurement of the length that I'm going to use for the back. So I'm using 6 inches. I mark 6 inches here. So I'm going to connect it from the neck, back neck, down to the 6 inches, like kind of a curve line. See the curve line, so I'm going to cut it out now. So I've cut it out, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do now, this is the back, how the back is. So I'm going to place my lining front, facing the front, making sure the lining of the front is facing the front of the main fabric this way. I'm going to my machine to sew it from the armhole to the neckline and the other armhole too. So this is it. I already sewn it, the armhole and the neckline. So I'm going to use my scissors. I use my scissors to notch it round. So after notching it, I'm going to pull it out now. From this open place, I'm going to pull it out. As you can see, this is how it looks. So pulled it out. So I'm going to stitch all this open place on my machine. Stitch this side. the lining and the fabric, stitch them together. So now I've stitched it. This is it. And see how it looks. So I'm going to sew it with 1/2 inch on both sides. So I've stitched it with 1/2 inch on both sides. See how it is. So this is it. That's the top part of it. So the top is ready. Now I'm going to do the bottom side. So for the bottom, the measurement I'm using for the length of this is 18. I'm going to use a long kind of, or 2.5 yards. It depends how you want the ruffle to be. So I'm going to ruffle it, go to my machine and ruffle it. So I've done the ruffling. This is how it looks after ruffling it on my machine. So now I'm going to attach this, the up and the down together this way. Go to my machine and sew it down. So this is it. I already sewn it on my machine and this is how it looks. Now the next thing, I'm going to sew the back together. Sew it up from here to the end. Then the down one, I'm going to fold it with 1/2 inch and hem it as well. So this is it. I already sewn it and I ironed it out. Then I left the place where I'm going to put my zip, and this is the zip I'm going to use. I'm going to place it this way. Then place the other side. Then I'm going to attach the zip. This is it. I already attached the zip. As you can see, this is how I attach it neat. So see, I can open it up and down. So this is it. Now I'm going to put my bow. It's going to have bowl on the back here. So this is the fabric I'm using for the bow, the plain and pattern fabric, the same fabric for the gown. So the measurement for this is 16 by 9 inches. The same thing with the pattern one, the same measurement. So I'm going to fold into 2. Fold this into 2, and this one as well, fold into 2. Then I'll sew it round on my machine, leaving this side open to turn it out. So this is it. I've sewn it, you can see. So I'm going to turn it out now. Turn this one out too. So this is it. I'm going to iron it out to flatten it a bit with iron. That now I'm going to fold like this. a bow. Then I'll use pin to hold this one, so that I'll do the other one the same way. So I'll do this one as well. Fold it like bow. Then I'll put them together. I'll use this rope to tie it together. So this is how it looks. I'm getting a piece of fabric, the same fabric. I'll fold this fabric into two, and I'll sew it in my machine this way. Fold it into two this way, and I'll go to my machine and sew it and turn it out. Yeah, I'm going to turn it out now. Yeah, this is it. I already turned it out. Now I'm going to use it to hold on to the bow tie. So I'm going to sew it here. I've done the sewing, so I'll cut the excess out. Yeah, this is the bow tie, and get my gown. I'm going to place it at the back of this gown. So I'll put it this way. This way. And I'm going to how it's going to look. I'm going to attach it on this place, making sure that it's not on the way to the zip, so that the zip will be able to open. On one side of it this way, I'll use a needle and thread to attach it. So this is the gown. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also like and share this video, and don't forget to click on the notification button so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video.